All right. Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. The number of attendees are still slowly trickling in, but we'll get this started just to be respectful of everyone's time. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. For those of you that don't know, my name is Felipe Escandar. I'm the city manager here at the City of San Marino, and I just wanted to say a few words before we get started here. I'll turn it over to Amber Shaw, our Parks and Public Works Director, and our city engineer, who will make some more introductions of Valley Vista and the team there. But first of all, I just wanted to thank the entire community. I know what we've been working through the last several months since around March, April, May has been something that many communities don't go through in decades. And we've really gone through it with real strategy, working on this in concert with the members of the community, our city council, and everyone to make sure that we make this transition as smooth as possible. And I'll be the first person to acknowledge that change is always a little rocky. But what I wanted to extend my deep gratitude to, or who would be all of you as the members of the community. You all have been incredible partners with us as staff and with Valley Vista over the course of the last several months, trying to make the most out of this transition. We really appreciate, really from the bottom of our heart as staff, all of you having embraced the things that we are dealing with as far as all the new state laws and all the different hurdles that we have to navigate, the regulatory framework of waste in California and everything else that we're going through with organics, with bin rollout, contract compliance. It's no small task, and especially for a city of our size where we expect the highest levels of service, and we as city staff really strive to deliver that. So I just wanted to extend my deepest gratitude to all of you as residents and to our city council. I know our council really worked very, very hard to reach out to every one of you as residents and community members that asks questions or raises concerns. We do everything we can to circle back with you as quickly as possible, and a lot of the council do that directly. So gratitude goes out to all of the council for their volunteerism in helping navigate this transition. Without anything else, the only thing I would like to say, technically, we are translating this entire, I probably shouldn't be speaking quite so fast, actually. We are translating this entire meeting live. So if you are looking for a translated version, let me make sure that I have this correctly. You can select the Chinese audio language through Zoom. Our wonderful translator, interpreter, Yanan Chow, really appreciate her for always being here for us to translate as well. So she's here doing those translations on the other Zoom broadcast. The meeting will also be recorded and placed on the city's website. So for folks that aren't able to watch tonight, you can go back and visit and get some more information online. The city's website, www.sanmarinoca.gov/trash. All things trash related in the city of San Marino can be found at that one-stop shop, sanmarinoca.gov/trash. Without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our Parks and Public Works Director and City Engineer, Amber Shaw, who's just been an absolute steward of the city's trust throughout this. So hats off to you, Amber, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. And good evening, everyone. I would also want to just echo what City Manager just shared in expressing my sincere gratitude to all of you for being on Zoom this evening with us, for your support, your patience, and your understanding as we navigated this transition with Valley Vista. They've been a great partner throughout this process and trying to be responsive, as you know, with the little information that we had in the short time that we had to do this. So we're excited to move on to the next phase of cart rollout and really getting up to speed with all of the SB 1383 requirements that haven't been fully implemented so we can get the city into compliance. So again, thank you for being here this evening. We're always here as staff. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out directly to me and to Valley Vista as well, obviously, for any of your trash or other questions for me. I'm happy to help in any way I can. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to the Client Services Manager, Chris Sal Vasquez from Valley Vista.
And as Grisel's unmuting herself, I did want to say that we will be taking questions via the Q&A box. There is a Q&A box down there. I believe I'm calling it the right thing. Yes, the Q&A box will if you have any questions, please go ahead and type them in. We will be taking typed questions in the Q&A box once the presentation is over.
Thank you, Philippe and Amber. Good evening, San Marino. It is such an honor to be here tonight with you. And let's get ready. We're going to talk a little trash tonight. So a little bit about what we're going to talk about tonight, our agenda. We're going to go over Valley Vista Services and who we are as a business, Valley Vista Services commitment to the city of San Marino. We'll talk about residential services, the overview. We're going to talk about bulky item pickups, as well as the upcoming new cart deliveries. We will also talk about the upcoming right sizing appointments, and we will have an SB 1383 recycling presentation. And at the end, there will be a time for questions and answers. So we will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. So a little bit about us. Valley Vista Services is a family-owned and operated company. We have been providing high-quality solid waste and recycling services since 1957. So we have been in business for 68 years. We're focused on improving the quality of life through proper and efficient waste disposal. We aim to leave a clean and lasting mark to the communities we serve. We strengthen the communities we serve by actively engaging with residents, building lasting relationships, and delivering innovative waste disposal solutions that make a positive environmental impact. We knew when we took on San Marino that it was a big commitment, and I wanted to share with you our commitment to San Marino. Valley Vista Services is dedicated to keeping San Marino clean, green, and thriving. We promise to provide reliable, environmentally responsible waste and recycling services. We promise to partner with schools, residents, and community groups to educate on sustainability and proper recycling. We also promise to support and participating in community events, which is our favorite. If you see on your screen, we actually got to meet Jay Leno at the San Marino Classic, so that was fun. And we promise to ensure that every household receives personalized service that fits your needs. We know that Valley Vista Services, our drivers are the eyes and ears of the community. So if they see trash, debris, or any potential safety hazards around the community, they promise to take action to clean it up and to keep the San Marino streets safe. So a little bit about the residential services overview. The city of San Marino has opted for a 2-cart system with backyard service. So that 2-cart system would be a cart for your trash service and another cart for your organic service or organic waste. Our hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and drivers are required to close all gates upon service, being that this is a backyard service that we provide. We provide 2 on-call bulky item pickups, and we can pick up to 10 items per pickup. And we will have 2 compost giveaways and paper shredding events every year. And during the holidays, we do have automatic holiday tree collection between December 26th through January 15th. So that means that you can take your holiday tree out to wherever you place your barrels, and Valley Vista will remove them automatically without you having to call. And please save the date. We have scheduled the next compost and shredding event to take place on Saturday, November 15th. The compost giveaway will be at Lacey Park, and the shredding event will be at the Stoneman building. So we're working on outreach, and we will make sure that everybody gets the information as we get closer to that date. Bulky pickup has its own slide because it's one of our most popular services, and I wanted to get into details with bulky pickup. So residential and estate customers can have 2 bulky pickups per year with a 10-item per pickup limit. We do need an itemized list for service, and the reason why we do is because we have to know what type of truck to send. If you're disposing of electronic waste, that needs to be disposed of properly, so we have to send an e-waste truck. If you're disposing of, something very large that requires a flatbed truck, we need to send that type of truck. So that's why we do ask for an itemized list as well. We don't want to remove anything that we didn't mean to remove, so that's why we ask for a list. And again, items are collected from the backyard, not the curb. So this is also a backyard service. So residential cart deliveries. By now, most everybody should have received their outreach either by mail or via email if we have your email address on file. So Valley Vista Services will begin delivering residential carts starting in January of 2025. The default cart size is 96 gallons, which you can see on your screen holds up to 332 pounds. However, residents may select a different cart size by contacting us or attending an in-person right size appointment. And no appointment is necessary for the right sizing appointment. That's just what we're calling it. But you can come and meet us and let's talk about your trash and see what best fits your needs. If a 96-gallon cart meets your needs, then no action is required. The default size is 96 gallons, so that's what will be delivered. As well, with the delivery of your carts, you will receive a organics food pail, which is also on your screen. And this food pail is not the pail that the driver will pick up and service. Actually, the food pail is like a kitchen pail that you can put in your kitchen as a reminder to recycle your food scraps. So that will be also delivered with your barrels. Residential service rate will be $57.61 per month. We do bill quarterly, so your quarterly bill will be $172.83. If you have a need for any additional organic carts, that is $14 more per month, and any additional trash carts are $35.08 per month. Right sizing appointments, as I mentioned, we do have quite a few. So in case you're wondering, what does right sizing mean? So right sizing means getting the right size trash and organic carts for your needs, for your specific needs. Every household is different. It means figuring out exactly how much trash, recycling, and yard waste and food waste you have, and then choosing the right size carts or bins and how often they should be picked up. It will also include selecting the configuration of carts that works best for your space. So I encourage everybody to come visit us. Our first right sizing appointment meeting will be this Saturday at the community center at between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. The team will be there. We can look up your account and make changes if you want to make changes to your size, or if you have any questions, or if you just want to come down and pick up some promo VVS items, we'll be having promo items there as well. Our next one will be September 25th. That will be at Powell Public Library, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then the 26th between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. The VVS team will be there. Early October, we have October 6th as a date. We'll be there 4 to 7 p.m. and October 7th. If you can't make any of those appointments, feel free to call us or email us, and we can talk about what your specific needs are. So you may be wondering, why are all these changes happening? Well, a major reason is due to Senate Bill 1383. So Senate Bill 1383 wants to remove organic waste from landfills because organic waste emits greenhouse gases like methane. This law aims to divert organic waste from landfills by recycling into renewable resources. And the state goal was to reduce organic waste disposal by 75% this year, 2025. But I think the best part of this legislation is that restaurants and food producers are required to recover 20% of edible food that would have normally been thrown away in the trash. So restaurants that have excess edible food are now required to donate the food to those in need. Who has to recycle food waste? Well, Valley Vista Services is responsible for educating customers on proper recycling practices. Participants include businesses such as restaurants, grocery stores, schools, hospitals, manufacturers, and distributors, as well as residential customers in our service areas. Additionally, like I said, businesses that generate edible food can no longer dispose of it as waste. They must establish a donation program. In short, everyone is now required to recycle their food waste. And your food waste can be recycled with your organic waste with, as long as it's in bags. You may be wondering what happens to your recycling. So San Marino is on a 2-container system. One container is for mixed waste, so that's trash and recycling together, and one container is for organic waste. With the trash and recycling, the mixed waste is sent to a facility where recyclables like paper, plastic, metals are sorted from the waste stream and they're recovered or recycled. Organics, on the other hand, there's 2 types of organic waste. So the first type is your green waste, which lots of us have been recycling for years. Green waste itself is ground into compost and recycled that way. However, food waste is the new recycling mandate, and food waste is processed into a mash and sent to anaerobic digestion to create renewable energy. So our facility actually does this process, and we recycle, we separate and recycle the organic waste. So I know there's lots of people here and there's probably lots of questions, so we will be opening it up to questions.
Grisel, I have 3 questions in the Q&A so far. So the first one is how to handle palm fronds.
That's a great question. Sometimes people think that palm fronds are recyclable. Unfortunately, they are not recyclable. We can't convert them into mulch because of the density of the palm fronds. So palm fronds actually go into your mixed waste, trash, and recycling cart.
Thank you. Next question is, what if we sometimes have less yard waste one week and more yard waste another week?
I definitely encourage you to use your bulky pickups. If that's an option, we can pick up bundled green waste or green waste in bags. I know that I've gotten some calls from people that have a lot of seasonal green waste, and maybe during that time you can opt for an additional organics cart for that short period and then return it once you're done. But I know that green waste is very, there's a lot of green waste in San Marino.
Excellent. And the next one is, can you please clarify if Valley Vista picks up the organic carts each time they come to the house?
Yes, so we are required to remove waste weekly because otherwise it gets nasty. So yes, every week that we come to your backyard to service, we are required to remove the both trash, recycling, and organics.
Okay, and the next question we have is, does compost waste need to be in compostable bags?
That's an excellent question. So yes, because of the way we sort or we process the organic waste, we process green waste differently than food waste. We do ask that you please put your food waste in a clear or transparent bag and tie the bag and drop that into your green cart, your green organics cart. Once it gets to our facility and it goes through the process, the plastic bags are removed. So the most important thing is to please separate the green from the food. So please put the food waste in bags. It doesn't have to be compostable bags. It can be any clear or transparent bag.
Excellent. And next question. Actually, I can answer this one. Is there a calendar where the shredding, e-waste, and bulky pickup dates will be noted in advance? Yes. So these will be, if you're not signed up already for the city manager's weekly briefing, I can drop that link in the chat before we end. You should sign up for that because we'll be putting it in there. You can also find this on the city social media channels on Instagram and Facebook. It's also at sanmarinoca.gov. On the homepage, there is a calendar link that you can find all of the events that will be on there. However, the bulky pickup dates, Grisel, correct me if I'm wrong, those are all by request. So residents can pick those dates themselves.
They're on call, yes. Please give us a call. We'll schedule it.
Okay. And next question, what is the volume of the organic waste containers?
So let me go back to the slide. Sorry, let me go back. So the barrel sizes are here. Depends on what fits your needs. You can opt for a 96 gallon cart or 64 gallon cart or 32 gallon. If you're asking about the food pail is 2 gallons. So I use the little produce bags for the food pail, and that works.
Okay. And the next question, does the monthly fee include both service and container charges?
The monthly fee yes, there's not an additional charge for the containers. And it's all inclusive and backyard service.
Okay, the next question is, I put my food waste in frozen blocks without bags in the organic container. Is this okay?
Unfortunately, I know that some cities and some other haulers do pick it up commingled. For Valley Vista, unfortunately, we can't. And we opted for this because we find that when you put, great job by freezing it, but a lot of people don't do that. And if you just put the food directly into the cart, it does get pretty smelly, and you know, the heat brings on unwanted little critters. So we do ask for it to be bagged.
Next question is, can we still use the plastic drawstring trash bag?
I'm not sure what the drawstring trash bag is. Like a regular trash bag? Yeah. For your regular. Yeah. Okay, yes. For your regular recycling and trash, yes, you can put plastic bags in there with all your recycling and trash.
Okay, and then should we already be mixing our recyclables in with our regular trash? We have been keeping plastics in a separate trash bin.
So the actual sorting will start once we deliver the carts. I know that right now we do have 2 routes, one that's picking up the green waste, the organic waste, and the recyclables and trash together. So after January is when you'll have to sort them in the actual carts. You can put your recycling with your trash. Once that type of waste comes to our facility, we actually sort through that waste and remove any of the plastic, any of the metals, anything that's recyclable is removed from the waste stream, so it does not go to landfill.
Excellent, thank you. And the next one is, can you put bread that's in its own plastic bag into the organic bin without removing the bread's plastic bag?
Yes, because it's the bread itself is usually like a clear bag. That's fine.
Okay, next question. We have several trees that drop their leaves during the fall. This generates a lot of excess yard waste that can't fit into our existing bins and unlikely to fit in a single 96-gallon bin. So we put them in large outdoor trash bags, sometimes up to 3 bags per week until all the leaves have dropped. Athens had no problem picking up these bags. Will Valley Vista pick up these trash bags, or do they need to be in the bins?
We can pick up the trash bags as a bulky item pickup. If you need additional, like a bin or something like that for a cleanup, you can contact us, and we do have that available for like a temporary bin. But as far as anything outside of your container, moving forward after you receive your containers, it will need to be either it would need to be a bulky pickup.
Okay, and then next question, I'm confused about food waste. Do we put food waste in the green waste bin? Is it in a separate bag, or can it be mixed with the green waste?
Yeah, let me clarify. So your food waste, that little pail you can put in your kitchen, and your potato peels, your banana peels, anything that's spoiled can go into the little pail. It doesn't have to be the little pail. Like, I have a bigger family, so I have a slightly larger pail. But I collect all of my food waste in the bag, in a clear, transparent bag. And then I tie the bag, and then I drop that into my green organics cart. So this is new to pretty much everybody. Before we used to just throw our food away with the trash. That is no longer allowed. It's a state mandate, as I mentioned, SB 1383. we're not supposed to contaminate now our recycling and our regular trash with food waste. So food waste needs to be separated now into the organics cart, and we do ask that it's bagged. And if you can please tie the bag so it doesn't get commingled with your green waste.
Okay, the next question is, if we want something other than the standard number of cans you will be giving us, can we resolve this at one of the appointments you mentioned? Does this have to be in person, or is there a way we can do this online?
Yeah, so you can come to one of the meetings. We also have an email address that's specific to San Marino residents. I actually have a slide with our contact us information. If you give me 1 second. So you can email us at sanmarino@myvvs.com with your preference. If you do require additional carts, we can help you with that via email. We usually have about we'll respond the same day as long as you email us by 4 p.m. on a regular business day. But yeah, if you'd like to come and talk trash in person, please come see us at the right sizing meetings. And that's the phone number there too. It's dedicated to San Marino.
And the next question is, so the total fee per month, including the trash bins, is $57.
Correct.
Okay, and that's for residential non-estate customers
Correct. For the cart services.
for the cart services. Okay, next question, is there a separate recycling container provided?
No, San Marino is on a 2-bin system. So your recycling, like your bottles, your cans, glass jars, that will be commingled with your regular trash, landfill trash, and we will be sorting that trash when it comes to the facility. So it does not need to be separated. The only thing that needs to be separated, the only commodity that needs to be separated is your organic waste, which encompasses your food waste and your green waste.
The next question is, what is the size of the organic cart?
Depends on the size that you want, because we have a 96-gallon option available. We have the 64-gallon option available and the 32-gallon option available. So you can have 3 of the 32 gallons if that's what best fits your needs. I know I've talked to some residents that like to have the barrels kind of spread in their yard. So if that works best for you, we can do that, but it depends on you, the size that you need.
Okay, and then I guess this is a follow-up to that. Depending on the cart option chosen, you may end up with either 2, 4, or 6 carts.
Correct. And if I can clarify, so the allotment is 96 gallons. So that's the basic size. So if you do the 32-gallon carts on your outreach, it's option C. That's 3 32-gallon carts equal to 96 gallons. If you do option B, that's the 164-gallon and 132-gallon equals 96 gallons. So that those are the available options for the basic standard price. Anything additional on top of that would be the additional organics price or the additional trash and recycling price.
And the next question is, what about cat litter waste? And actually, we received this in person from a resident earlier, actually asking the same, but about dog waste.
Good question. Dog waste, any waste really is not organic. It is a biohazard. So it goes in your trash, your regular, the black cart.
Well, thank you. And so is there any special requirements for disposal of cactus blades such as nopales? Some species are more thorny, others are smooth but heavy.
Yes, I think in the outreach that you received, what goes where, cacti is also not allowed in the organics. We can't mulch that either. So that would go in your regular black trash cart.
Okay, and the next question is about transparent bags. Are residents supposed to get those on their own, or will they be given any?
Yeah, so Amazon sells them. You can get them at Walmart. I personally recycle the produce bags. Like when I go to the market and I get my bananas, I recycle those and I use those. But Valley Vista does not provide these bags. We don't sell them either. So yes, residents would have to acquire the bags on their own.
Okay, the next question is, can yard waste be placed in plastic trash bags or should that go in the bin directly?
Great question. That should go in the bin directly. The only thing that should be bagged is your food waste, your organic food waste.
Excellent. And then will businesses be given an organic waste container as well?
Yes, we're actually working on that with the city of San Marino to make sure all commercial businesses are compliant, especially our restaurants. So yes, we are working on that.
And we've kind of covered this again, but just to reiterate, can you have 2 or 3 of the smaller cans without additional charges instead of the largest one?
Yes, so option C is 3 32-gallon carts, which equals to 96. So 3 32-gallon carts would be the same price as one 96-gallon cart. And this is all outlined in your outreach. But if you want us to email you the outreach, feel free to send us an email and then we can send you all the flyers and all the information.
Great. And then the next question is how to handle used food takeout containers.
Yeah, on our website, and maybe we'll give this to the city so they can post it. We actually have a how-to video. The biggest contamination problem we have with our organic food waste is the, straws, takeout, cans, things like that. So please keep that out of your food waste. The food waste is recycled on its own without anything. So any takeout, anything that's not food waste needs to go in your black trash cart.
The next one is regarding bulky item pickups. I heard bulky item pickups are on Tuesdays only. Is that correct?
We do have our bulky pickups on Tuesday's route. However, if there's a specific need where you need us to come on another day or you're having a party, we'll work with you, let us know, and we can accommodate any request.
Okay, and then do you want us to put all the trash, not organic waste, in the container, not in bags?
Any trash, so most people use bags in their home, like in your little trash can at home, in your kitchen. So bagged waste for your regular trash and recycling is recommended because it also keeps your barrel cleaner. But if you wanted to put it directly in the cart, you can. I would recommend using bags just so it stays cleaner.
Good tip. This is a good question. Are the trash and organic carts different colors?
Yes. So your trash and recycling cart is black and it'll have like a little sign on there that what it's for. And your organic cart will be green and it'll have a sign there that says organic waste only, food waste, and green waste. So yes, there are 2 different colors.
And when is our monthly fee going up? Does it depend on when we receive our cart delivery?
So the fee is changing starting October 1st. However, San Marino residents will still be on the same program that they are now with the personal barrels until we roll out the Valley Vista carts, which will start in January. Of course, we can't deliver everyone's carts on the same day. So until you receive your Valley Vista carts, we will be picking up your personal barrels as you're used to.
And the next question's also regarding those old containers. How do we get more stickers to put on our old containers?
So if my recommendation is to put the sticker on your personal barrels once they've been serviced, because you can stack them together and put one sticker. But if you want to put a sign on there for the driver, or if you want to contact us via email, we can create a work order for it. So it doesn't necessarily have to have that sticker that you got in your packet. It can have any sign, take me, whatever you want to put out there. But I definitely recommend putting those stickers or putting that sign after your barrels have been delivered so that you have your barrels there, and then we'll remove your cart. I'm sorry, after your carts have been delivered, make sure that you put the sign and then we'll remove the barrels after your Valley Vista carts have been delivered.
Great. The next question is, what is the deadline to notify Valley Vista of our trash can size choice?
Yes, if you can please let us know before January 1st, because that's when the rollout starts. So if you're contacting us right now, the way your account looks to us, it's set with the default 96-gallon cart. but when you contact us, then we make the changes. So please call us before January. So you do have a couple months to reach out to us. Because after January, the work orders will be sent to our dispatcher and deliveries will start. So please let us know before January, before the new year.
The next is just a comment that Valley Vista is doing great. So I think you
Thank
appreciate hearing that. The next question is, can different mix of carts other than the ABC occur? In my case, the best choice would be one 32-gallon cart for trash and 5 32 gallon organic carts. Can that be arranged? My family usually generates much more yard clippings than trash.
That's a great question, and a question I've gone before. So the allotment is 96 gallon per commodity. So if you do require more than 96 gallons for organic waste, you will have to obtain additional carts for that. So you can't mix and match. It would be very difficult for us to keep track with our routes.
Right. Next question is how to prepare cardboard boxes for pickup.
Cardboard boxes should be flattened as much as possible and put into your cart. A lot of people don't flatten them and then your cart gets full really fast. So I recommend flattening them. We do have some customers who go the extra mile and they'll like cut them down, chop them down. So yeah, my recommendation would be to make sure they're flat and then before you put them into your black cart.
Excellent. And then it says in July, we had a bulky item pickup as a community. Will we continue to have this in addition to our 2 bulky item pickups per year? So I can actually take that one, Grisel. So the bulky item pickup that was scheduled for July was actually because that was our usual bulky item pickup, the way that we used to receive bulky item pickups as a community. So our previous trash hauler only provided I think it was 2 dates per year that were set, and everyone had to do their items on those dates. Valley Vista actually fulfilled that pickup in July just as a courtesy, since everyone had kind of already been planning on that. But moving forward, the bulky item pickups will take place only on a customer request basis. Okay, the next question is, there seems to be more wildlife around, raccoons and rats, etc., and they can gnaw away at regular trash cans to get to trash. Are your carts able to handle this?
So what I've been seeing a lot in San Marino is a lot of lidless personal barrels. That's when the critters come. The good thing about having a standard cart for a residential service is that they have a lid. The lid is what's going to keep the critters away. So I think a lot of the issues with critters is because the trash is accessible to them. With a lid, it won't be, unless there's bears around. But I don't know how many bears are in San Marino.
Fortunately, I don't think I haven't had any in 4 years here, so.
Yeah.
The next question, I guess, is kind of also in relation to that. Do you replace a cart if it breaks? Example, a wheel comes off.
Absolutely. Give us a call. We'll exchange it for you. It is our responsibility to make sure that your carts are in good shape for you to use them.
Awesome. And then again, related to the current bins that people have, will you take away my current 4 metal trash cans when you deliver new carts?
Yes. If you can stack them together once they've been serviced, you can put the sticker, you can put your own note. If you prefer, you can email us or call us and we'll schedule a work order for you for removal, but we will not be removing until after we've delivered your Valley Vista carts because we want to make sure you have somewhere to put your trash.
And the next question related to organic food waste, can we use regular white takeout bag to pack the food waste?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. The way our facility is, you can technically use any bag, any plastic bag. However, in the beginning of this program, we told our customers, you can use any bag. And what we were finding is that most of those bags that were not clear or transparent were just filled with trash. So that contaminates our entire waste stream. This is why we now ask for them to be in a clear or transparent bag. We have to be able to see that it's actually food waste and not just trash. So please use a clear or transparent bag.
I may need Director Shaw for the next question. So the next question is related to the current sizes allotted for our previous hauler. And what are the current sizes of our trash bins?
Yep, I'm here. So our previous contract with our former hauler did include 6 of the 32 to 35 gallon barrels because they obviously had to hand toss them the way that they had serviced them, and that's what we continue to obviously have. I know they were gracious enough because they were resident provided barrels that I've heard stories of them being willing to take more barrels than what the contract actually allotted when it was put into place 20 plus years ago. But that technically was what was required of the contract. And so this is pretty equivalent to, so what you're getting, so based off of that and what we were informed of, most residents having of around six barrels, that was where the two 96-gallon carts is equivalent to your 6 barrels that was provided in the previous contract.
Thank you. And then I think, Chriselle, we kind of covered this already, so just to confirm, cat litter and dog waste bags go in the trash,
Yeah, not organic.
not organics. Your black recycling bin, not your green bin.
Yes.
And then to answer the next question, can you make this Zoom session available to view online? Yes. So both our interpreter, our Mandarin interpreter recording, and then our English recording will be available to view online for anybody who missed today or would like to refresh on today's session. The next question is, if you opt for the 96-gallon trash cart, do you automatically get a 96-gallon organic cart?
Yes, unless you contact us to let us know that's not going to fit your needs. So you can, and we've gotten lots of calls where they're okay with a 96-gallon trash cart, and then they want the 332 organic carts. So you can do that as well. It's the allotment is up to 96 gallons for each commodity.
And then we've answered this one too already, how to get more yellow remove the bin stickers. You can use your own signs to remove them, and Valley Vista will be removing those once your new carts are delivered. The next question is, I assume this is starting January 2026. Yes, that is when cart rollout will be occurring. And will we be notified in advance of the exact date of the cart swaps?
So as we get closer, our operations department can work with the city on providing maps to get an idea of when we'll be delivering. So yes, that is a possibility.
And the next question is, will organic and regular waste be picked up at the same time by 1 or 2 trucks?
It will be 2 different trucks, may not be at the exact same time. So it's 2 different trucks.
But
We're
on
gonna
the same
try our
day?
best. Same day, and we'll try our best to coordinate so that it's consistent, like close to the same time, but it is 2 different trucks. And there are some times where maybe the organics driver might get stuck in another residence that has extra organic waste, and it takes them a little longer than the trash driver. So that's why it can't always be at the exact same moment, but we definitely try our best. Same day for sure.
And Chriselle, I guess I was just going to jump in for 1 second. I think that's obviously under our current plan, but part of this transition will also be getting new vehicles as well. Those are just much longer lead items for the community. So eventually we do expect that there will be split body trucks that will be servicing both commodities at the same time. But those take a lot longer to order and procure. And with the short transition time that we had, those won't be coming out the same time the carts will, but eventually it would be 1 truck servicing both. Is that correct?
Right. The goal
Yes.
is to make our presence, be in and out as quickly as possible and not disturb anybody. So yes, that's the goal that we're working towards. And like Amber said, it doesn't happen overnight, but we are working towards that.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. Do we have to put the green waste in plastic bags? What happens if we forget in a week?
So your green waste can go directly into your green cart. The only thing that needs to be bagged is your food waste. So like when you clean out your like your freezer where it gets freezer burn, that don't put it in the trash anymore. Put that in the organic. The only thing that needs to be bagged for organic waste is the food waste. Green can go directly in the cart.
Okay, the next question, if I have more recyclable waste, mainly cardboard boxes, than will fit into my regular trash each month, will I need an additional trash bin for $36 per month? Or is there an option for a recycling bin?
There's not a third recycling bin. So if you do have a need for more trash and recycling, then yes, an additional trash cart would be required for your needs.
Okay, I have a couple questions regarding cardboard specifically. So specifically for boxes from like Amazon, it's difficult to get them into the bin with their flat white shape. And we used to be able to pile them outside of the bin. So what do we do if they won't fit in the carts?
That's a good question. I know that happens a lot during the holidays, and I know that our operations department does our best to take anything that we feel, it's trash. However, we have had issues where we're trying to go the extra mile and we took what we thought was trash and it was actually not trash. So anything that needs to be picked up outside of your cart does need to be called in as a bulky pickup.
Okay, the next question, why do the food bags have to be clear?
Like I said earlier, technically we can pick up it with any plastic bag, but because a lot of people were contaminating the bags with trash, that's why we request that it's clear or transparent. As long as we can see that it is food waste, we should be able to pick it up, no problem. But we do ask for clear or transparent because not everybody does that. So yeah.
And then is paper allowed with the food waste?
Yes, you can put food soiled napkins into your food bag.
And then the next question is to clarify, going forward, starting in January, a physical person will walk the trash containers to the street, no more mini trucks to do the pickup.
So once you receive your cart, then we will be providing the backyard service. Similar to what we're doing, we'll roll out the cart. I think right now we're dumping into another cart, so that will change. We'll be rolling out the cart that you have at your property to the truck that's going to be there, and then we'll pick it up and then put it back.
Okay, and then I have two questions related to extra barrels cost more. So the extra carts cost more.
The extra, yes, if you need more than the 96-gallon allotment, the additional trash carts have one rate and additional organic carts have a different rate. So there is an additional charge for anything past the 96-gallon allotment.
When does the new law regarding recycling organic food waste come into effect? Is it January 1st, 2026? That is already in effect.
Actually, it was 2022. You guys are a little behind. So we're working to make everybody compliant with the state because I know it's a requirement. So it was 2022.
Okay. This question is if you order a rolling cart trash bin, does everything go in the bin, organic and other? No, you're gonna have two separate, you're gonna have an organic and green waste cart and a trash and recycling cart. Those two items need to be separated.
Correct. Two different carts for two different types of waste.
Yes.
And this,
Well,
sorry,
slides.
just to interrupt, that might be a good question. And if I reframe the question, because I think it might answer a different set of questions. So folks that have estate services, the larger dumpsters is what I'm going to call them, the bins, metal bins, they too are required to have a second stream, correct?
Correct. So for estate customers, they will have one primary bin, which will either be an organic bin or a trash recycling bin. And then they will have a second cart, which would either, so for example, like if the primary bin is organic, then they'll have a 96-gallon trash/recycling cart. If the primary bin is trash recycling, they would receive a 96-gallon organic cart, or up to 96 gallons. Same like residential, they can opt for the 332s, or option B is 64 and a 32.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to try to get through the rest of these questions in the next 9 minutes. If we can't, what we will do is post a PDF with all of the rest of the questions answered. And that also goes along with the next question is, will the slides for this session be made available as a PDF document? And I'm sure Valley Vista can give us these slides, and we can post these along with the recordings. Okay, can we choose a combination of 96-gallon trash bin with a 64-gallon and 32-gallon yard waste and organics bin? I believe the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
If we expect to have extra regular or green waste, are we able to get extra bins for just a month?
Yes, you can. And we would do like a proration on your bill. So if you needed additional, right? That's the question. If you needed an additional cart for a short period of time, we can work with that. And then we would only charge for the month that you had it, or whatever. If you 3 months. Yeah.
And then I think Valley Vista is a 2-cart system. Does that mean 2 96-gallon well, it says bins, but carts? So yes, one for organics and green waste and one for trash and recycling, or up to. Can we do 128 gallons of organic and 64 gallons of commingled?
So the allotment is 96-gallon for trash and recycling and 96-gallon for organic waste. Anything above that allotment would be at an additional charge.
Okay. Can you clarify where succulent plant waste should go? Should it go in the trash cart?
Trash. Succulents go in the trash. Can't be mulched either, unfortunately.
Is there any food that is not considered food waste? What about coffee grounds?
Coffee grounds, your coffee filter, you can put in your organics. Spoiled foods can go into your organics. Anything that was once edible or is edible can go into your organic. The only thing, and I was actually mentioning this to Amber earlier, is pet food. What we've found is a lot of time, so when we take the food to process to the slurry, it has to be very clean. What we found is a lot of pet food, unfortunately, has chemicals in it that are not organic. So pet food is actually, because we don't know whether it's, unless you know for sure it's 100% organic, then that can go into your organic waste. But if it's got additional chemicals or things like that, then that would be trash. So that's the only thing I can think of that is kind of iffy. But otherwise, anything that you can eat or once we're able to eat is good to put in the organics.
Excellent. This is a very similar question to getting more organic carts for less trash. And again, the allotment is up to 96 gallons for one or the other. The next question is about expired medications. And those should probably be given to a drug take back event. So normally that would happen with law enforcement, or like a DA's office, or I think maybe some pharmacies do them sometimes. So expired medication should not go in the trash, and should be disposed of using like a drug take back situation.
Yeah, it's actually considered hazardous waste, and we do not have a hazardous waste license.
Excellent. And then to clarify, so food trash must be in clear plastic bags. Do you have a recommendation on large clear plastic bags? I think, as we said earlier, Amazon, I think almost any kind of home goods store. Target probably has plastic ones, and so I think you can find ones that will fit your needs, especially if you're like Grisel, you have a larger food waste bin in your kitchen or a smaller one.
Yeah, I got
Um,
it on Amazon.
yeah. The next question is, can we put our address, street number on the trash cans?
Yeah, absolutely. It's yours.
The next question is related to flattened cardboard. So if it can't fit in the bin, I think once again you'd have to probably schedule that as a bulky item pickup. Amazon also, I will share personally, Amazon sells like electronic shears that you can cut down your cardboard boxes. My husband appreciates me a lot more now that I use those shears to cut down my cardboard boxes. We'll be notified the day the new cans will be coming so we can prepare our old cans. And I believe the answer to that was already yes, that you'll be notified closer to once operations has a more specific plan for your pickup day. This is a good question. Are there penalties for the individual homeowner or city if we do not comply with the new approach, or is this more the honor system?
So we know change is hard. So in the beginning, we're going to have a lot of grace, try our best to do as much outreach as possible. But I do know that the state, and maybe Amber can answer more to this, the state does hold the city accountable for their diversion for the city. So Amber, if you'd like to elaborate.
Yes, exactly. So the city could be fined if we're not making efforts to educate and enforce these new requirement, or well, they've been in place now, but to get everyone into compliance, they can penalize the city quite significantly, up to like $10,000 a day for being out of compliance. We do have to do annual reporting to Cal Recycle, telling them what's being diverted and and if we do have non-compliance, how we're helping to try and educate and get anyone who's not willingly participating in the program to help get them to understand why this is so important and make that effort. So yes, there definitely are penalties that we could be subject to if we don't have good participation from our residents and businesses.
And then Amber, perhaps you can also help with this next question. Sorry, about providing electronic waste days. I believe that those can be picked up through the county, correct? Is that
Well,
hazard?
I know through the bulky item pickup, and Grisel could tack onto this as well, that we did that bulky item pickup that Valley Vista provided in July, and electronic waste was included. It wasn't with our previous hauler. But when you do schedule your bulky item pickups, Grisel, correct me if I'm wrong, you can by appointment, and those are free. You get up to 2 pickups per year, up to 10 items for each pickup. You can include electronic waste as part of the bulky item pickup.
That's correct. Electronic waste and, fridges, anything that's in your home that you no longer want can be picked up as a bulky.
Okay, and then how about newspaper with food waste?
So the way our machine works, it does not pull the newspaper out. So the food waste will need to be in a plastic bag. So clear, transparent bag. You can keep the newspaper, but we'd prefer that the food waste is directly put into the bag.
And I guess this would be the same thing. Paper towels not used for cleaning, where would they go?
Paper towels, like any food soiled paper, paper towels can go into the organic. If you do use it for cleaning, then that would be trash. And paper, regular paper, goes into the mixed trash and recycling. Food soiled paper is organic. You can put that in the organic waste bin.
And as Nicole's going through, we only have 8 questions left, so we'll just power through these last 8 and then call it a night after that. But again, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us this evening. These have been some really informative questions, and I think I can speak for myself. I'm learning a lot on some of these nuances here, but 8 questions left. We'll power through this so that we have the full recording and we won't have to augment it with another document. But again, if you don't get your question answered tonight, please feel free. If you see that email address right there on the screen, sanmarino@myvvs.com. and you'll get those questions answered ASAP.
Okay, last few questions. Thank you, City Manager. If I'm cleaning out my freezer and getting rid of old boxes of food, is the box the food is in considered food waste or only the food inside?
Only the food inside. So I just actually got rid of some chicken nuggets that were they had been in the freezer for a while. So they come in a clear bag. So I tied that, I put the box in the trash, and then I tied the clear bag and I put that in the organics. So any cardboard, anything that would be considered recycling goes in the black cart. Food waste and green waste in the organic cart.
And then can I change my selection after the enrollment period?
Yeah. If what you receive does not fit your needs, that's why we're here. So we will work with you. If we need to, change what you want, we can help with that.
For the new trash can options, so if they choose option B or C, are there any additional charges to their monthly trash fee?
No, there's no additional charges because it is 96 gallons if you do the math. Anything over 96 gallons would be the extra charge.
And another good question, are bones allowed in food waste?
Yes, meat, bones, dairy, all good in the food organic bin bagged, please.
Okay, and then two questions related to coffee pods. Do they need to be cut? Do you need to cut them open and dump into organic? Can the whole thing go in organic, or is it all trash?
Yeah, the coffee pods are not organic. The pod itself, the remnants of the coffee is organic, but the pod itself, because it's plastic, that has to go in the recycled trash. So if you want to go the extra mile and put the coffee into the little bag, then that's organic.
Excellent. Okay, you mentioned yellow stickers. Can you clarify what the yellow stickers are for the bins?
Yeah, we sent in the packet that was sent. I think a lot of people got it this week and late last week. There's sticker in the packet. It's like a take me away. It says take me or take me away. You can put that sticker in your personal barrel if you don't want it anymore. If you have multiple barrels that need to be removed, I recommend stacking them up together when they're empty and then putting the sticker on, or if it's easier for you, just put a little note on it and we will remove it after your VVS cart has been delivered.
Okay, sorry, one more question. What do I do with the spoiled milk liquids in a jug?
So liquids, milk, it can go in your sink. That's fine. That doesn't have to be put in the trash. So if it's like juice or milk, you can pour that down your sink.
Excellent. And then last two things are just saying I wanted to mention I have enjoyed and have no issues with Valley Vista since starting. Drivers are respectful and hardworking, and their customer service is great. Thank you, Valley Vista. And the last one is VVS is doing a great job. Well done. And
Thank
I
you
did
so
not
much.
even time that. Those are the last two things that came in
Thank
here.
you.
So
Makes me so happy. Thank you.
So I think this will close us out for tonight. First, again, closing us out, what I wanted to say was thank you to the entire community. We had, I think it peaked out around 130 or so folks attending tonight's meeting. Fantastic, fantastic attendance. And what really it's showing us is there's a lot to learn about trash. There's a lot to learn about Senate Bill 1383 and the direction that California is going in as far as organics and waste recycling. But the one thing that I do want to close this out with is just by saying that we, as your city staff, Valley Vista as your service provider, and the community, we're working in a partnership, right? You'll hear our council members say as in one San Marino fashion. So we're all working together to really deliver these services in the San Marino way, really five-star service manner. So if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, anything that comes up, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, the Valley Vista team, or us at City Hall. You have an incredibly dedicated and committed set of public servants at City Hall, both, including Director Shaw and our community engagement manager, Ms. Tibbet, that was reading through these questions. Everyone's here to serve this community. We're a service business on the public service side, so we're here for all of you. But please don't hesitate to reach out, and even if it is just to drop a line and just let us know what your thoughts are and how services are going. We'll continue to provide education throughout this process. We got a great tip earlier today to try and weave in some trash tips into our social media and onto our weekly briefings. So we'll be rolling out some public education and outreach on these different questions and things like that, some did you know type segments. So please keep a lookout. And if you have not signed up for the weekly briefing that we send out every Thursday, please go ahead and go to the city's website and you can find that, the city manager's weekly briefing as well. With that, unless there's anything else from Director Shaw or anyone else, I think this will conclude. And again, you can find this recording on the city's website, www.sanmarinoca.gov/trash. And thank you all again for your time, and we hope to see you all around town as well as at the upcoming in-person meetings. We have some great events coming up in town. Lacey Park Centennial next Saturday, September 27th. So we look forward to seeing you folks and everyone there. The event begins at 9 a.m. So come out and really help us celebrate the wonderful gem that we have at Lacey Park. And we'll see you all around San Marino. Have a great night.
If I may, just one
Yeah,
thing.
please.
It's been an absolute pleasure serving San Marino. We've met so many of the residents at all the events, and you guys have been so amazing. So from the bottom of our heart here at Valley Vista, thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you.